So I made $51,574.08 in just 30 days with my clothing brand, and I'm going to be breaking down my exact thought process, strategy, and framework for getting these results so you can hopefully just copy me and apply it to your own brand and get similar results. Now, I'm just going to be hopping straight into this video. You might be wondering, who the hell is this kid on my screen? Well, this is me laying on a bunch of packages, and this is also my Shopify dashboard right here. I can show it right now. I'm going to refresh. So you can see I'm exactly who I say I am. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is not just a one-time thing. I've proven this strategy over and over with other clothing brands I run the marketing for. I run ads for different clothing brands, and some of them are in my Instagram bio right here. But this is not luck. I've grown multiple clothing brands, and I have this exact strategy down to a T, so you can apply it to your own brand and hopefully use it to grow. So this is just some more data you can look at. I have tons of increase in orders, orders fulfilled, returning customers. But this is the simplified funnel we are going to be looking at in this video. Before I get into the funnel, this is assuming you have a brand name and logo, you have your niche picked, you have an idea of a product or at least a finalized version of a sample, or you have your inventory and whatever, just a good idea of what you want to make that's unique. You have your platform set up. So this would be your Shopify, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook ad account, Facebook, but all this stuff that you need to set up and get your brand out there. Just a warning, you can't do this with low capital. It just doesn't make sense because there's paid marketing involved in this. And if you're just trying to do this with like 50 bucks, it's just not going to get done. But let's just take a look at this funnel real quick. I'm going to be breaking down pretty much almost every step of it in this video. But manufacturing, I recommend any manufacturer in any country except for Pakistan. I will explain later in the video. From your manufacturer, you're going to get your sample or inventory. And then from there, you're going to decide if you want to do pre-made or pre-order. This is super important. Now, once you decide that, you're going to do pay marketing or organic marketing. Organic marketing is anything you post for free or gets posted for you for free. So this would be Instagram Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, YouTube videos, anything you don't really pay for. Paid marketing is self-explanatory. This is anything you pay for. So Meta advertisements, Instagram advertisements, TikTok ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, anything of that sort. And from both of these marketing channels, the ultimate goal is to get them on an SMS email list and get them to the product page. Now, when you have your website open and you have a product page, you also want to have an SMS email pop-up and put them back into this list right here, offer them a discount. And also, when you get them on the product page, you want to ensure you have a smooth checkout process and collect any abandoned checkouts. And when you have a successful purchase, you want to make sure you don't stop there, because a big part of having a clothing brand is having returning customers. That is super important. So you want to nurture them and get them to buy again through organic or paid channels. Now, once you have a successful purchase as well, you want to make sure you have good customer support, especially if it's a pre-order. Now, if you don't have good customer support, you're going to run into a lot of issues. You're going to get chargebacks. You're going to get spam DMs, spam emails of people saying, yo, where's my order? I'm going to call my bank and charge back on you because you are not responding to me. So have good customer support. Don't get lazy, or you're going to get that Shopify RICO on your account, which is when Shopify holds your money, and you definitely don't want that. But once you have good customer support and you have successful purchases, you just got to fulfill the order, hopefully within a timely manner if you're doing pre-made. If you're doing pre-order, hopefully you're communicating and you don't have too many issues fulfilling these orders. But that is the simplified funnel we're going to be looking at. Now, before I get into this video, I would really appreciate it if you just subscribe and dropped a like. I'm giving you this information for completely free. This is so much game that people will charge you money for, but I'm just dropping it completely for free because why not? So let's just hop straight into this. So the first thing you need to know is your product is literally everything. Your product is literally everything. It will determine how hard or easy some of the steps in this video are. And if your product is just fundamentally bad, you will find it very, very hard to get sales. Now, when I say fundamentally bad, I mean like bad material, bad fit. You're just putting a logo on this product and trying to sell it. You want to make sure your product is good. You want to study the market, see what people are buying, and put your own twist to it. Studying trends is really important. I'm not saying you need to follow trends 100%, but you do need to keep in mind exactly what people are buying, what's in style, what's not in style at the moment, so you can apply it to your own brand and use it as a leverage to grow your own clothing brand. Now, your focus is to create an evergreen product as well. I'm gonna get to that in a second, but when you follow only trends, your brand will die with that trend. A good example is this trend right here. I know you guys seen these tees like last spring, last summer, the big face tee trend, and there is a reason why these customers are putting these tees up on Mercari, Grailed for literally chump change, because nobody wants this garbage. Nobody wants to wear this trash anymore because it was a trend from last year, and people quickly realize, yo, this thing kind of trash. This is not an evergreen product that I can wear forever. This is not something I can wear year after year after year. So you don't want to be that brand that's just dropping only trendy products, or your brand and your products are going to end up on Grailed for 20 bucks and nobody is buying it still. This tee is literally 20 bucks and people are still not buying it. And I guarantee you this brand dropped this tee for like 50 bucks last year and sold out. So you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that brand that's just trash and just selling trends. You want to make an evergreen product. A good example of an evergreen product is, I guess I'm gonna give one from my own brand. It's my reversible fur zip ups. This is something I can sell year after year after year. I know it's always going to have an audience. I know people are always going to buy it during Q4 slash the colder months of the year. This is something I can sell year round. Also, my sweatpants are an evergreen product. This is something I can sell year round, and people are always looking to get it simply because it's unique and it's something that is just people want. It has a baggy fit, it has some little trends sprinkled in there, and it's just a nice product overall. So your goal is to make an evergreen product. That is your number one goal. Because if you have a bad product, it doesn't matter how much paid marketing you put behind it. If your product is just trash, it just makes everything so much harder. Now, when you decide what you want your product to be, you need to find a manufacturer, obviously. I always use Alibaba to find manufacturing. I always, always, always use Alibaba. I don't trust any manufacturers that DM me on Instagram. I don't trust any manufacturers that DM me on Reddit, Discord, that email me. I don't do it simply because manufacturers, 80% of them are just scammers, especially if they're from Pakistan. You don't want to work with a Pakistan manufacturer, I promise you. Now, when you want to find a good manufacturer for your own clothing brand, when you go on Alibaba, it's really just a numbers game. You want to DM like 100 manufacturers. Yes, your phone is going to blow up. Yes, you're going to be annoyed because all these manufacturers are only up at China time when it's like 3 a.m. and they're going to be messaging your phone. Just turn on Do Not Disturb and just, sift through all these hundreds of manufacturers. It will be worth it because you can compare all their prices, you can compare all their lead times, their sample rates, all that good stuff. Now, when it comes to relevant questions to ask your manufacturer, I have them right here. You want to ask their MOQ, the minimum amount you have to order. You want to ask for the price per unit at the MOQ and versus higher amounts, because when you order more, it becomes cheaper. Your unit price is not going to be the same at 50, 100, 500, 1,000. It's not going to be the same. It's going to get cheaper as you order more. You also want to ask for the lead times for the manufacturer and what shipping speeds do they offer. So air shipping, sea shipping, fast sea shipping, slow air shipping. You want to ask for all of this. And you also want to ask for their previous work. Previous work is super important. You don't want to work with a manufacturer simply because they are the cheapest one you can find. You want to see their previous work. You want to see their quality, and you want to make sure they are able to make what you're requesting for your tech pack. Now, when you place a bulk order for your manufacturer, you want to also make sure they're able to provide a free sample. Free samples are so important because you don't want to pay for a sample every single time. You want to build a relationship with your manufacturers so they're able to provide you a free sample every time you place a bulk order. This is super important. If they're still charging you after you place like 3 bulk orders, that manufacturer is not for you. I promise you. There's so many manufacturers that want to work with you long term and provide you free samples so you continue working with them. Now, never use a Pakistan manufacturer. Let me explain. I'm sure a lot of other clothing brand owners, they use Pakistan manufacturers, and a lot of other clothing brands have started up with Pakistan manufacturers. But in my experience, and I'm sure you've seen in other videos, don't use them because there's a high likelihood of you getting scammed. There is a high likelihood of them not making the product how you want. There's a high likelihood of them just not doing anything you request. Like, it's just a whole mess, a whole mess. And I've seen brand owners get scammed out of tens and thousands of dollars from these Pakistan manufacturers. Is I promise you, in the long run, you will get a bigger headache from Pakistan manufacturers than if you just paid the premium price and just used a Turkey, I don't know, Portugal, China manufacturer. I promise you, it's not worth it. I'm sure other brand owners will explain my thought process way better. I'm just telling you right now, it's not worth it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Just go with China and it will get you right. Now, when you get a manufacturer, you have to decide if you're going to do pre-made or pre-order after you get your sample perfected. Now, both of them have their pros and cons. I'm going to go over pre-made first. Pre-made this is when you have all the inventory in hand and it's ready to ship. So, obviously, some of the pros are the items are ready to ship. This is instant customers trust, and you get a returning customer hopefully because they get their stuff fast and you have good service. It's nice, quick, and easy. The customer doesn't have to wait for a couple months for pre-order. You can prevent any quality control issues prior to shipping and get that figured out before you ship. You don't have to worry about any uncontrollable events while you're while the orders are going on. So you don't have to worry about delays, shipping delays, customs delays, quality control issues. I don't know, the factory explodes or something. Who knows? But you won't have to worry about that if your inventory is safe and sound in your location. And you can also send out to influencers if you want. Now, some of the cons of pre-made is you limit how much you make and you have to put thousands of dollars up front. Now, this is not ideal if you're starting up your clothing brand because this is thousands of dollars you might not have to like start making the inventory and getting it shipped out and everything. And you also have to take longer between drops because you have to get the inventory to you and then you have to ship it out and then you have to get the inventory again, which takes like a couple months and then you have to ship it out again. It just makes it so you're dropping like every month or two instead of with pre-order, you can drop however much you want as long as you're informing your customers. And obviously, you have the risk of losing money because you're investing everything up front. Now, pre-order, this is the alternative that a lot of brand owners do when they first start. Pre-order, this is what a lot of clothing brands start up with and probably what you've seen in a lot of other videos. This is when you don't put any money up front except for your sample costs. And this is when you let customers order before you order the inventory. So you open the store, you let 50 or 100 customers order, and then you close your website. And then that's when you order the inventory for the exact amount of orders you got or more. This has its pros and cons. Obviously, you can start once you get your sample. You don't have to wait for inventory. You can just start marketing instantly. If it flops, you only get 2 orders, no problem. You refund those 2 orders and keep it pushing. This is pretty good for starting up. The cons are pretty heavy. The customer is going to have to wait 1 to 2 months and maybe less. It depends on your manufacturer. People are going to be highly suspicious of you, especially if you're just starting up with a pre-order. Um, People are just naturally skeptical. It's because a lot of other clothing brands have scammed other customers. A lot of clothing brands have done the method and just never shipped out stuff. So people are going to be naturally suspicious of you. It's only natural, and you just have to prove the allegations wrong, I guess. But you are also highly exposed to uncontrollable events. I'm not going to say it's going to happen to you, but if you're running a pre-order and something happens, you are might be out of luck. Like let's say you do a pre-order and there is a huge shipping delay where you're going to be delayed like 3 weeks, you're probably going to get some chargebacks or some angry customers that won't return because of that uncontrollable event. As I just mentioned, chargebacks you don't want above 1% because you're going to get hit with the Shopify RICO. You're going to have customer support pressure. You can't send out to influencers as easily unless you buy multiple samples, which is really expensive. And the quality could be buns, bro. You do the pre-order, the sample was perfect, you order the inventory, and then when the inventory lands, it literally looks nothing like the sample. That is a small risk. That usually happens with Pakistan, I'm gonna just say it right now. But you won't have that risk with China, but there's always a risk of that happening. You never know. Like the wash could be off, some of the measurements could be off because they rushed the order. It's so many things could happen. And when you abuse a pre-order, it could actually harm your brand. You don't want to be doing a pre-order every drop. I would actually prefer if you started with pre-made. This is just the right way to start your brand, to be honest. Pre-made is definitely the way to go, but I understand why people go pre-order. Now, let's go over my personal strategy. My personal strategy is a mix of both. Most big brand owners won't tell you this information. They will just tell you to, do a pre-made or do pre-order. They won't really tell you that you can literally just do both. Now, how do I do both? Well, it's kind of self-explanatory. I have inventory ready to ship. This incentivizes people to join my SMS email list because they want to be the first people to buy so they can get that fast shipping. They don't have to wait for pre-order. Now, this also has the pros of collecting reviews, especially if I'm dropping new stuff. People are skeptical when they click your ad and they see your product has no reviews. It just gives off like scammy dropshipper vibes when they see reviews, it gives them a little bit more confidence. So when I have my pre-made inventory, I drop and usually it sells out pretty quick. I did make a vlog. You literally saw how fast I sold out when I did that. But I don't limit how much I make because as soon as I sell out, I transition to pre-order. Now this is like the biggest thing ever because I don't limit how much I make and I can just hop straight into scaling with pre-order. And I can also scale aggressively with ads. Now the cons are kind of mostly the same for pre-order because once I transition to pre-order, the customers are still going to have to wait a couple months. They're still going to have to wait for that pre-order to end. And I only recommend doing this if you have a good relationship with your manufacturer and as you grow your brand. Now we're going to get into organic marketing. I'm going to be breaking down TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. This is pretty much all you need. I'm going to hop straight on to Instagram. Instagram is pretty much very similar to TikTok. However, the audience is higher quality in my opinion. At the start, you should definitely test and see which platform is the best because some brands they just easily get on the right foot at TikTok and they just blow up instantly on TikTok. and other brands find out that Instagram is just way better for their brand. You just have to pick and see like which one is serving you the most. I find that Instagram is more difficult to grow than TikTok. You definitely need to have more consistency. Instagram is very good as the foundation for your brand. This is where you're going to announce everything. This is where you're going to funnel people as much as possible. And also, a good organic Instagram presence can seriously amplify your ads, your paid marketing. And you can honestly just repost your TikToks and just grow that way, to be honest. And much like TikTok, you can study other brands and see exactly what they're posting, how they're operating, and apply it to your own brand. Now, with TikTok, it's very similar to Instagram Reels, but it's way, way easier to start here because you're guaranteed like 200 views at least, unless you're shadow banned. But you're guaranteed at least 200 people seeing your stuff, and you can just keep posting until you find something that works for you. But it's the easiest place to start and grow, but it has a lower quality audience, to be honest. You'll find out that like you can get 1,000 clicks on TikTok and only a handful of people buy, and you get 1,000 people from Instagram, you'll get like double or triple the people buying. I just find that TikTok has a lower quality audience in my opinion, but a good TikTok presence can definitely boost your Instagram. But it's just not as good as having crazy Instagram motion in my opinion. But you can pump a lot of content. You can post like 5 pieces of content a day and see what sticks. I usually recommend posting at least one time a day. That's pretty standard, to be honest. It definitely feels like the algorithm favors specific accounts. I don't know, at least with me, the same videos that blow up on Instagram don't blow up on TikTok. That's why I prefer Instagram way more. But again, you have to find out what applies to your own brand. You cannot sell on here as much as Instagram, to be honest. You have to make content that doesn't directly sell. So this would be like new pickups, get ready with me, check out these new pieces I just copped or whatever. You have to make videos like that. You can't really make you can't really make clothing brand content, especially with TikTok Shop like taking over and TikTok really pushing that out. You have to make sure your content is like subtly pushing your stuff in a way, if that makes sense. I definitely feel like clothing brands are shadow banned on here in favor of TikTok Shop, but it's whatever. You can still grow pretty nicely on here if you have good content. So these are some of my TikToks right here. You can see for yourself. I have okay views. I only have like 1.3K followers on this account. I have multiple accounts. I have two clothing brand accounts, but you can see compared to my Instagram views, they basically don't even compare. Like the same video got 10K on Instagram and it only has 1.9K on TikTok. Finally, we have Reddit. I think this is the weakest place to market your clothing brand, but if the piece is fire enough, people will like it. People will buy it. You can get some motion on here. It's good for getting opinions, to be honest. I use Reddit more than anything to get opinions on my pieces or samples before I like fully commit to them. People are brutally honest on here. I like the r/streetwear startup Reddit, and I pretty much only post on here 1 to 2 days before I drop typically, unless again, like I said, I have a sample I'm unsure about. If I have a design I'm unsure about, I can just get some quick opinions on here or on my Discord. But only post 1 to 2 days before I drop, and people are always looking for cool stuff on Reddit. This is an example of a post of the on the Reddit channel, and you can just see this guy is just promoting his hoodies and what people think of it. All three of these are solid organic options. Instagram, TikTok, and Reddit. You might be asking why I didn't recommend something, I don't know, like Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts. I just think those marketing channels are not viable. You can get views on them, but they don't really convert, in my opinion. I strongly recommend to focus Instagram or TikTok or both if they're both popping off for you. Now, the whole entire goal of your marketing, of your organic marketing, is to funnel people into an SMS email collection. Now, this is where you collect their phone number or email so you can market to them. You can notify them as soon as you drop. You can notify them whenever you have a restock, any discounts, any sales, whatever. This is the bread and butter of your clothing brand. This is the bread and butter of marketing. This is the bread and butter of everything of your back end, because without this right here, you're essentially just going to be marketing to people who won't care about you after 2 weeks. So when you collect their email and phone number, you can notify them and remind them that, yo, you signed up for this product right here. Do you still want to cop? Yo, we're dropping in 2 days. Do you still want to cop? Are you going to cop? This SMS and email list keeps people in the loop of your brand. And that is super, super, super important. You need this. This is an absolute must have for any clothing brand. Now we're gonna get into the paid marketing section of this video, but this in itself can be an entirely separate video because there's so much to unpack. It's so complicated. There's so much you need to learn and know to do this effectively. But just know these two things, paid marketing and collecting emails and phone numbers, are the biggest things to scaling your clothing brand to over 10K a month. I promise you, these two things will make or break it if you're not going crazy organically. Now, let me just show you the power of ads real quick. So this is one of my clients. They made 1.9K in the month of January. You can see right here. They made just 1.9K and their conversion rate is buns. So this is before they hired me, before we started running ads. As soon as we started running ads, they made 38K in the month of February. 38. You know how crazy it is to take your clothing brand from 2K to 38K in 1 month just from using ads. So that just goes to show like ads are the bread and butter to a clothing brand. I promise you. Along with collecting SMS and emails, running ads is the bread and butter. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. When it comes to my clothing brand, I exclusively only use Meta ads. I really don't like TikTok ads simply because of the reasons I mentioned earlier. TikTok, it just has a lower quality audience to me. Like I can get 1,000 people from a TikTok ad and maybe like I don't know, maybe like 10 people will buy, but I get 1,000 people from like an Instagram ad. At least like 50 people or like 100 people will buy if I get 1,000 people from the ads that like click on my ad. TikTok ads, I'm not a big fan of, but you can test and see for yourself. That is the beauty of having a clothing brand because not everything fits in like one model. Like it's not one mode for every clothing brand. You can test TikTok ads for yourself. I've seen them done effectively. I've actually ran some for other brands and they've done good. It just doesn't work for my brand, in my opinion. So that's why I stick to Meta ads. It just has the highest quality audience, in my opinion. But like I said earlier, ads will be the biggest catalyst to catapulting your brand past 10K a month. If you can do 10K a month organically with ads, I promise you, you can triple or quadruple that a month. It is really that simple, to be honest. Like, it's not that simple, but it is that simple in the fact that if you just start running ads and you start locking in with ads and get somebody or learn how to do it, you can literally quadruple your brand's income. It's crazy. In the clothing brand niche, a lot of people won't tell you this, but your creative does 95% of the work. When you're just starting with the ads, don't focus on lookalike audience. Don't focus on interest targeting. Don't focus on, this specific niche setting will get me 10K a month. Don't focus on stuff like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You really want to focus on your marketing angles. You want to focus on simple showcases of your product. You want to showcase your product in a mix of body images, videos, flat lays, lifestyle shoots, whatever you can do to get your brand out there. And you can do so much stuff, even skits. I like to do feature point out angles, review angles, comparison angles, and I would really highly recommend you focus on your organic content before you focus on ads. A lot of people won't tell you this, but ads are only amplified by your organic content. You cannot put money behind something that's garbage and expect the results. You need to have good organic content before you focus on ads because good organic content kills with money behind it. This is what a lot of brands owners won't tell you. They just tell you to run ads, but they don't tell you what to run ads on. You want to continue focusing on organic content till you find something that works and then you bring the ads in. You start putting money behind those videos, those concepts, those angles, and that is where the real money is at. I promise you, that is what you want to do. You don't want to hop straight into ads without testing organically. Now, this is some of the ads I ran for my own clothing brand. You can see right here. I did a review angle right here. And then right here, I did a product feature point out angle right there. And then this is just a simple flat lay. You can see it looks nice. All the colors are, you know, beautiful. It looks really nice and high quality. This is a simple on body ad I did. On body close ups. There's so many ways you can do this. You could have a product flat lay, and then you can then in the next slide you can have it on body, or you can do a review angle and then have a flat lay. There's so many ways you can play with the ads to get the perfect funnel that will convert the best. So these are just some of my examples. And here's another example of the ads when they're done effectively. You can see from my client, I spent 5.7K and I made them back $23,000 at a 4x return. Now that is crazy. $23,000 just simply because we hopped on the ads manager and we started spending money on the right angles, on the right videos, on the right organic content. This is what scaling a clothing brand is all about. Focusing on the ads that will bring you the most money. If you are not running ads for your clothing brand and you're doing good organically, you need to lock in with the ads. I promise you, it will change you. Now, obviously, the ads are going to be useless if your website is trash. There's so many websites I see that are complete garbage in the clothing brand niche. So many of these animations, music, pop-ups and everything, like just get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. The customer does not care about your music. The customer does not care about, the lightning animation in the back. They don't care. They just want to buy your stuff. And the sooner you realize that, the more conversions you will get because there's so many times I've been on a clothing brand's website and there's so many animations that are slowing my phone down. There's music that's blasting in my ear when I'm trying to check out. Like I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. You want to make sure your website is nice and simple, like I have here. You can literally see I have all colorways of the product right here in a PNG. I have close up pictures. I have on body pictures right here. And I have reviews. I have good reviews because my products are genuinely good. You want to collect reviews. And if people are leaving you bad reviews, it's a sign that your product is not what you think it is. Your service is not what you think it is. So your job should be collecting good reviews and putting that as an angle for your ads and putting that on your website so people can trust you. A lot of people need to be reminded that a lot of people that click from your ads are a cold audience. Cold audience meaning they have never seen you before. They have never even heard of you before. So they need to be able to trust you as soon as they go on your site. And these reviews are a huge thing of letting these customers see that they can trust you. Other people have trusted you before. Other people have bought from you before and received good service. Now, having a good website goes beyond that. You want to have a details. You want to describe your product and a few bullet points to make sure you get every point across. Every relevant detail is there. You want to provide any offers you have right here. So I have free USA shipping. So I have that on there. I have a good size selection. I have all colorways right here, black, gray, pink. I have that right here, black, gray, pink right here. I show all the colors. You also want to make sure you have an email or SMS pop-up. You can see right here, I have want a discount. This ensures I'm collecting emails or SMS subscribers as my website is open. I don't have to rely on my website being closed and for me to hype up a drop to collect email or SMS subscribers. I can collect it as my site is open. This is so important. I see so many brand owners miss this. What they don't realize is the people that come from your sales ads are the people that are most likely to convert when they land on your SMS or email list as you nurture them, as you produce more content. So this is highly important that you have a pop-up that doesn't annoy your customers. I would recommend just having this little thing right here that they can click on. If you want to have it open, you can do that for your brand. I just personally don't have it open. I just have it there so they can click on it. Your description needs to have everything your customer needs to know. So you need to have a frequently asked question. You need to have a good size chart on here. Size chart is so important. Nobody is buying your stuff if you don't have a size chart. A size chart is so important. I cannot tell you how many clothing brands I went to buy something off of and they didn't have a size chart. I'm not buying your stuff if I don't know how it fits. And I can speak for a lot of customers. I can speak for a lot of purchasers that they say as well they will not buy your stuff if they don't know how it fits. You cannot just say, "Oh, if it's baggy, if it's cropped, slightly cropped." You cannot say that. You have to be specific. These customers need to know exactly what they're getting. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you want to have reviews. These are some of the reviews on my site. You can see I'm pretty much getting 4 to 5 stars because I'm providing a good service. And cold audiences want to see this. You can see W Pants. Love, it's exactly what I expected. They're amazing. Would definitely buy again. Great sweats. You want to make sure you have these good reviews. You want to make sure you're incentivizing customers to leave you a good review after you provide them a good service. Now, you also want to ensure your customers are having a smooth checkout. Like I said earlier, you don't want to have any annoying pop-ups. You don't want to have annoying music, annoying animations that prevent your customers from just taking what they have in their cart and checking out. That is all you want. That is why my website is so simple. That is why my website is so plain because the goal is for my customer not to get annoyed. They see what they want and they check out. Now, when you have customers that are not checking out, that are not going ahead with their cart, you want to make sure you're nurturing them with abandoned checkout flows for email and SMS. This is super important. You want to make sure you have automations on the back end so customers are not just leaving their cart and never coming back. You want to remind them, yo, this thing is going to leave soon. Yo, this product, it might never restock again. You want to cop now. You want to make sure these customers have a sense of urgency to finish what they started, to finish buying the product they had in their cart. After you do all this, success. You should have people buying your stuff. You want to make sure your customer support is S tier. People will charge back, like I said earlier, if you ignore them, if you don't frequently communicate. Remember, your business perception is so important. Don't sacrifice how your business is perceived to get a few extra $100. I promise you, I've seen it happen over and over and over. Brand owners, they get greedy. They leave their pre-order on for too long, and it takes 8 months for customers to get their order. And for what? For an extra $3,000, $4,000 in profit that some of them get. Like, it's really not worth it. I always recommend to trust your gut when it comes to your business. Again, don't ruin your business to get a few extra hundred or $1,000 or even the extra $10,000. It's not worth it in the long run. Just provide good service, be always communicating, and you will find success with the model I have presented you today. Obviously, this is not every nook and cranny of scaling a clothing brand. If I explain every little detail, this video would literally be hours and hours and hours long. And even just on the ads portion, I can make like a 12-hour video going over every little thing I did. But obviously, I'm not gonna do that simply because like that's just insane. But this is my personal strategy. It may not fit every clothing brand niche or model. A lot of this information is still incredibly helpful. Now, if you want me to help with your clothing brand, literally just join my Discord and interact with the people that are in there and interact with me. There's plenty of free advice. There's plenty of huge brand owners that are active. You can literally just ping me and I'll try to get back to you if I don't have a million pings. I don't know how big this video is going to get, but if I have a million pings, I'll try. I'll try my best. I'll try my best to get back to you. But if you want me to run your brand's ads or marketing, you can also apply down below. Like I said earlier, I run the marketing for tons of six-figure clothing brands, and these are just some of my results you can see right here. You know, for $400 spent to get back 2,300. This just shows you don't have to be a huge brand to get some decent numbers. And we have right here 5,900 to get back 23,000, like I showed earlier. We have 3.7K to 17K right here that I did for this brand. And we have 2,800 to 14,000 right here I did for this brand as well. This just shows the power of ads. And I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly how to grow these clothing brands with ads. And they tell me that like I'm the best thing that happened to their brand because before they were doing less than 10K a month. And now I got them to doing over 10K a month with their clothing brand. But that's pretty much everything for this video. I really, really thank you so much for watching this. This is different than anything I've ever made before, but I just wanted to make this to show my personal strategy, how I go about it. And if you learned something, consider subscribing. Every subscription helps, and I really do appreciate y'all. Make sure to join the Discord, and thank y'all for watching. Peace.